Well, this is interesting. Did my stream not close or something here? I seem to have gotten the audio situation straightened out for the time being. Let me see if I've got audio. One, two, yeah, I got audio. Amazing. Is there anybody? We got 13 people in here. What the hell's been going on since I've been gone? Okay, everybody here? Yeah, that is kind of weird. It took me forever to find this 10-year-old headset. This is back from when I used to be on Pal Talk. I don't know what happened to what is a very expensive headset. And let me do something here. Oh, it's over here. Ooh. The Wizard of Oz thingamajiggy here. I've got equipment buried behind that green thing, and I try to keep it out of sight. Well, I wasn't sure if I was going to be back or not. It took me forever to find this thing. And I don't know what happened. This is a Corsair headset. These things are very expensive. I paid about $200 for this back when, and it's been working fine up until now, and all of a sudden it decided to take a crap on me. So I gotta figure out what's going on, whether it's the microphone is finally giving out. Well, I did have a spare. The problem is I buried it. I've got several spares, and they just seem to have went kapooey. So basically, the first hour of this live stream is all screwed up. Well, actually, the first hour. This thing says I've been on the air an hour and 58 minutes. And I thought, apparently, if I don't close out the software when I sign off, everything stays put. And I was going to use my phone as a live stream to let everyone know what's going on, but I have a new model phone that doesn't have a headphone jack on it, which is nice. So I couldn't hook up the headphone. So it's been kind of when everything can go wrong, it will go wrong. So, just dropped my phone stand. So anyway, this kind of screwed up a little bit. But let's see if we can, and my Rode mic that I was going to use is not working either. So I'm going to have to work on that. Because expensive little microphone that's kind of dead in the water. I don't know what's going on with all my crap tonight. I must be hit with the weirdness. Alright, so anything been going on since I left? Let me try and continue on with what I was going to discuss here. Let me go down. And what did I do? Put everything in the background? Alright, let me get a chance to... I don't know, I'm going to have to learn how to edit videos, because this is going to be crap for the first hour or so, hour and a half. And... oh, it's a new stream. Okay, that explains the 3:47. That's actually 3.5 minutes. So, actually, I might be okay. So let me go over into this, and we'll get into what I was going to talk about. It's a little bit on the sloppy side. But, and where did I put everything? Did I put everything in the overlay? Or? Okay. Now, this came up on Telegram, and he looks like he is kind of going after David Strait and the Texas Rangers. And so he came up with this deal here, and it basically reads, in the December 2021, David Strait gave me a business card that said he was Colonel D.L. Strait, Republic of Texas Ranger. David Straight's new wife, Bonnie Straight, card said she was general counsel for the Republic of Texas. And it goes on and on and on. And, oh, I didn't mean to put her name in here, but it's too late to change it. Yesterday, Alexandra, I cannot pronounce that last name. So sorry to Alex if she's contacted Texas Rangers to inquire about David Straight's identities. The Texas Rangers replied by email and said there is no Republic of Texas law enforcement. It is something that they made up. And I am investigating information and evidence that suggests David Straight is part of Flynn Intel Group or a variation thereof. Now, he got into this on Gab. I have previously reported that sworn affidavits from eyewitnesses to crimes against humanity were turned over to the Criminal Investigation Division at Fort Campbell, Kentucky by a former judge from Minnesota named Randy Lynn Erickson. Randy Erickson was part of a task force that, according to a holder of U.S. Secret Service clearance, David Lester Straight, was created within the Donald J. Trump White House per Straight's Political Commission on Human Trafficking and Judicial Corruption. So now what we have here is Tim Holmseth is claiming that David Straight is the one who created this Pentagon Pedophile Task Force, which is something that has been contended for a long time. And on the other side of it, Randy Erickson and Timothy Holmseth claimed that this was legitimate, that they had been in contact with Trump, and so on and so forth. But now, in this, it appears that Tim Holmseth is backing away from his original claim. Now, in 2019, Erickson escrowed troves of evidence that Timothy Charles Holmseth, acquired regarding international child trafficking, e.g., Ukrainian Embassy Jeffrey Epstein. Erickson turned copies over to Straight. Straight said he in turn delivered the evidence to the United States Department of Defense. Erickson paid for Straight's travel to the Pentagon to deliver the evidence. Now, I find this a little weird, number one, that they didn't vet David Straight that well, or else they just had faith in him. It's hard to know what's going on here because this story changes. And then we have this. Erickson also turned the evidence over to Congressional Defense Contractor Christopher E. Hallett. E-Clause. Hallett was murdered after he filed documents in U.S. Court, Florida. I believe the Fort Campbell affidavits were also filed by Randy Erickson with the U.S. Court under serial, now mysteriously vanished from the record in Minnesota because Doral law specifically stated that Jessie Marie, however you pronounce that, said she eyewitnessed U.S. presidents and world leaders raping, murdering, and eating children during satanic rituals. Now, this story keeps going back and forth because they say they have copies, they say they don't have copies. I mean, these people cannot make up their mind if they have copies of this evidence or not. And you would think that if this evidence was that important, that even, if they're giving copies to Hallett, giving copies to Straight, giving copies to Lynn Wood, and copies to God knows who else, that they would have copies of their own in a safe place, and the only time they would give out this information would be in mirror copies. But they keep saying that this stuff is missing. And, we all know it's the same damn stuff because they publish this stuff. And So we move on. In 2021, Randy Erickson met with David Straight, who is now calling himself Colonel David Straight, Republic of Texas, Texas Rangers, at Straight's office in Texas. Erickson handed Straight copies of the affidavits. Straight, quote, tossed the affidavits back at Erickson and said, give them to Lin Wood. Erickson drafted a criminal complaint regarding the crimes against humanity and filed it with the U.S. Court, Judge Eric C. Tostrad. Erickson sent a copy of the federal complaint to attorney Peter Titkin, who represents Donald J. Trump in his RICO action against Hillary Clinton and FBI. Titkin's office telephoned Erickson, confirmed receipt, and thanked her. Now, there is no documentation whatsoever that this telephone conversation took place or any of this stuff occurred. We only have her word, and in the case of E-Clause, a receipt for over $400 for something. Now, I personally checked with the court in Ocala, Florida, since I am a short drive from there, and they told me that they have no such information, and they never had information. The documentation that was supplied by E-Clause had nothing to do with any missing children, Epstein, or any of these others. She said it's a family court matter, and it is sealed for that reason. So, once again, these people are lying. Now, how in hell they got their hands on that receipt is anybody's guess, but it's just, once again, they are making these weird claims. Now, Telegram has been in a bit of an upheaval, and I had gotten into a dispute of sorts with someone over there on Telegram because they were followers of Timmy, and they really reamed my ass out because I was speaking up against Timmy. And I'm going to let me go into my Telegram account and see if I can find that. Now, I am going to try not to give too much information out, but okay, for some reason that thing disappeared. Let me see where that. Well, that's interesting. I guess he changed his mind because the May 20th, everything from May 20th is gone. I don't know why this person bothered to send me that if they're only going to change their mind. But let me see if I've got it. Not sure what happened here. I think the account disappeared because it was Randy and Timmy's Digital Army or some variant of that, and the account went poof. Not sure why someone would do that, but that's, it was an apology because of what happened between Tim Homseth, Randy, and this individual or group. So it's anybody's guess here. But they dropped the Randy and Timmy's and just is now plain Digital Army. Let me see. I'm going into my files. Come on, open it up. Okay, we got... Alright, I'm not sure what happened, but the message that was sent to me vanished. Maybe they changed their mind. I don't know. So I'm going to leave that part out of the conversation since I don't have a record of it. But as far as Telegram is concerned, well, let's go back over to Telegram again. Because we had I don't know what, published by GFE. I wonder who that is. I was recently informed that Texas was the first state to officially debut. Alright, that's something different. So apparently Butterfly Mama's still... David Straight is one man between Tim and the president. Straight wanted them to lay low. He asked them to stop posting stuff under the Pentagon Pedophile Task Force because his life was in danger. Instead, they doubled down on it. So basically, David Straight has no control over Tim Holmseth, and apparently David Straight is not happy about it, and he is withdrawing his support. And one thing came over on the Telegram account, and it goes, quote, "Holy shit, they just doxed Alex. I wonder how Timmy's #1 fan feels about this. Is Timmy tossing Alex under the bus?" Now, it might be either Alex or it might be Randy. Or, I mean, it may be Timmy or it may be Randy. And so now we've got Alex, who's Alex the Greek, had her email account published on Telegram. So now this is a big no-no. Even I won't do that. That's why I can't put this up. But Alexandra wrote to the Texas Rangers, found out the same information I did, that there is no Republic of Texas law enforcement. That is something that they made up. So we are getting, a split going on here, and these people are running around trying to figure out what to do about all this. Now, I want to touch on something else that's been going on, and because of my technical difficulty, I didn't get to load some illustrations. But as some of you might recall, Tim Holmseth published a short video, or somebody did, where Timmy visited Linwood's $18 million estate in the Carolinas. And they did a rather interesting thing. They went to the front gate of Mr. Linwood's property. Timmy got out, and magically this pickup truck appeared out of nowhere and it was the caretaker for the estate. And there was a conversation between Tim Holmseth and the caretaker of the estate. And as the title of my show indicates, that subsequently it was published that Navy SEALs again were out to assassinate, murder Timothy Holmseth and Randy okay, I lost my days. It looked like Tim Holmseth was accusing Lynn Wood of threatening his life, that, he's got all these SEALs and they're going to run around and they are going to kill these two. Well, Timmy and Randy just made it a whole hell of a lot easier for Lynn Wood and his SEALs to do that. I spent a little time doing some screen grabs, looking over that video, doing some image processing on the front gate and some of the surrounding area, and I also did some checking around with people that live in that area. And it turns out that Lynn Wood has a very, very sophisticated security system. He's got wireless cameras hidden in trees. He's got wireless cameras hidden inside the little intercom to the left of the gate. And the caretaker had a GoPro on the front area of the truck, and it was pointing straight at Tim Holmseth. So the caretaker would have known the make, model, color, and year of the automobile that they were in. He would probably have a way to get the license plate number off the car, and he would also know who the photographer was who was taking Timmy's photo. And it would be on this camera that was in the truck. And we have task force chiming in. And I'm going to put this up because this is interesting. You talk about fake affairs. Talk about David's many brides. Eloire, her name is not straight. So, apparently, Task Force now, ever since leeching off this guy since 2021, is now going after him for what? Being an adulterer, shacking up with an unwed woman. What's the story here? I've been told that the task force that's coming in here is an impersonator, that it is not the real task force. But if we get David Straight is now on their shit list. I mean, David Straight is one man between Timothy Holmseth and the President of the United States. Now, is that still true? Or is David Straight lying about that too? We've had people calling the Texas Rangers out in Texas, me included, and they either have never heard of David Straight or they said he's an outright liar, that there is no such thing as what David Straight claims. And so now we've got David Straight accused of embezzlement. Because if he took money from Randy under false pretenses and is not paying it back, and it was supposed to be used for another purpose, that's embezzlement. And so now, we've got David Straight up there with Lynn Wood and General Flynn as being on against these people. Now, let's get back to what I was discussing here. David and, Timmy and Randy claim that their life's in danger and all this, But they go to a house with a multi-million-dollar estate which has a very sophisticated security system. They present themselves to an eyewitness that can tell anybody that's interested all about Timmy, who Timmy was with, the make, model, year of the car, the license plate number of the car, what state it's registered in. And this could be turned over to these SEALs or whoever they are that want to kill Timmy. So, I mean, Timmy just gave all this information to General Flynn, or not General Flynn, but to Lin Wood, that Lin Wood could use if he really was going to take Timmy out. And see, this is something else that these two may not realize. But I have been told time and time and time again that there are air tags or GPS tags planted to where those people want to know where they're at all times. Well, oh my God! Now Randy wants David Strait to be a greeter at Walmart. Oh, that's weird. Anyway, because that you guys got to come up with a different punchline, task force. That's old. But here's the deal. Timmy and Randy go around saying, oh, our life is in danger and blah, 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 blah. Yet they're out in the open. They give away clues. Now Lin Wood, with a sophisticated closed-circuit camera system and a guy with a GoPro on his dashboard who can identify the car, the occupant of the car that was taking the pictures, and Timmy, down to the stain on his pants. So, and on top of everything, someone is planting geotags on their person, either in the car, maybe in a piece of luggage or something. You realize that a geotag is about the size of a quarter and even smaller. The government issued geotags are really, really small. So, and I am under the understanding that their whereabouts are known 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, every second of every minute. So, if they think they're hiding, they're damn fools. Now, they're not going to be able to find these geotags unless they literally tear their car apart, start looking at things that they have in their possession. They are not hiding. They can't hide. They're being watched 24/7. I would be suspicious of anybody that's parked in front of where they live or any of that. Because the government is good at hiding their presence. These SEALs that Timmy is all worried about knows where they're at. So when they feel like the time is right, they will do what they want to do. Either put Timmy in jail, or he will assume room temperature, or the forest temperature, or ground temperature, wherever he winds up going into a different plane of existence. So, he can blame anybody and everybody, but he only has himself to blame because he is not taking any security precautions at all. And if he thinks he is in any kind of protection, he's only fooling himself, because in this day of modern technology, it is easy to keep track of people 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and especially if it's the deep state. If he wants to blame the deep state for all his troubles, then he might as well come to the realization that the deep state is following every single thing that he is doing. And Dan Johnson chimes in. Now David Straight was a colonel too. Quite the resume. That changes every day. LOL. So now we've got people over on the Pentagon Pedophile Task Force starting to go against David Straight. And so I'm kind of curious. What David Straight is going to do about this. And I'm looking at my Telegram here, and either the account's disappeared or I'm blocked, but Infiltrated by Truth is gone off my phone. So maybe she finally deleted, blocked me. I don't know. So if anybody out there knows if Infiltrated by Truth is still around, I'd be curious to know. It's just a repeat of everything she does in the other channel, so it doesn't matter. But it looks like I finally got blocked. She's blocking the wrong person. In your opinion? Well, Mark, law enforcement's weird. I don't know if they don't think these two are important enough to put in jail, or maybe they've got them under observation because they're looking for bigger fish to fry. I really don't know at this point. I would have thought that these two idiots would have been locked up a long time ago. But if they are going through the trouble of putting geotags on their cars and in places where they're at or what have you, they may be keeping them under observation to find out who all their connections are. The people with the money, people that are doing these criminal actions. And it's just like the old days when they used to wiretap the mafia to listen to their conversations. They build up the evidence and then bam, away they go. Okay, I've been told that Infiltrated by Truth is still up, which means I have been blocked. Well, ain't that cool? Oh well. So now this is another account that can talk behind my back, blah, 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 real grown-up thing to do. But that's fine, because it looks like Timmy is turning his back on her, so by blocking me off that account, I don't know if she's going to be, she may sneak over here to read this one, but, it's the way it goes. These people are about as childish as they get. They want to keep their little secret thingies going on. And what's funny is people are forwarding the Infiltrated by Truth account over into the PPTF. Because we've got somebody's put up, oh, they are doxing the living crap out of her. They put up her business, some kind of advertisement here. Holy mackerel. This is interesting. Yeah, they have gone, and Alexander the Greek is completely doxed. Yep. Well, I kind of figured that was going to happen. And it's interesting who is doing all this, but, But things are going crazy over there. So somebody has saved me a lot of trouble. This is a riot. But it's funny that these people make all these claims. Anything's possible, task force. Only you would know that. I don't know what Randy's gonna do, but if there is a saying that hell has fear or has no fury like a woman scorned. So if she's that mad at David Straight, there's probably all kinds of stuff that's gonna come out. Um, this is what happens when people get mad. All this information comes flooding out. What's going to happen to Alexandra when she realizes that her information is now plastered all over Telegram? Uh, but so now someone is accusing David Straight of inviting her to his hotel room late at night, and Randy refused. So I guess she turned down an opportunity. I don't know. But, this is turning into an interesting situation where a guy that Timmy relied on for fame and fortune is now being targeted by the woman controlling the purse strings. And it should be a lesson to everybody over on Telegram that Tim Holmseth is not a faithful ally. He will turn on you at the snap of a finger, and Randy will turn on you because she controls the whole situation. So I have a feeling we are going to be hearing a lot more about David Straight. And it's not going to be good. All the dirty laundry is now going to be coming out from David Straight. And hi, Blades of Paula. Welcome to the stream tonight. I see some interesting things are going on over on Telegram. I was just reading through and seeing, well, IBT is being doxxed by someone other than Timmy, from what I see. But the thing of it is that people who support David Straight don't like what's going on, and now allies of Tim Holmseth, such as IBT, are paying the price. And I think we're going to start seeing a hell of a lot of this because, Timmy has gone after, infiltrated by truth is the acronym we're looking at here. Timmy has started down a weird path. First, he went after General Flynn, which got General Flynn's supporters all up in a froth, and that General Flynn exposed room over on Telegram isn't exactly making people happy. And now, because Lynn Wood allegedly won't release these documents or acknowledge that Timmy sent him the documents, Tim is pissed off at Lynn Wood. And now, for the very same reason, Tim Holmseth is mad at Colonel Straight, if you want to believe this guy's a colonel. Well, infiltrated by truth is supposedly one of the closest followers that Tim has. She calls Tim her number one. She's made some rather remarkable thank you, Mark. I really appreciate that. IBT has defended and still defends Timothy Holmseth explicitly, will not accept any criticism of Tim Holmseth. But the price for that is now she has found herself a target of supporters of David Straight. And as the situation is going to intensify as word gets around that Tim Holmseth and Randy Erickson have turned against David Straight and are making some very serious accusations. Number one, being an embezzler, because Randy Erickson's alleging that David Straight collected this money and now refuses to pay it back. didn't do what he said he was going to do. Randy paid, allegedly, David Straight's expenses to go to Washington, D.C. with these documents. Randy paid to bring David Straight to Minnesota to help Timmy out or something along those lines. I'm not precisely sure. But, the basic thing here is that David Straight didn't do what they wanted him to do, so now they're turning against David Straight, who is supposedly the one man between Tim Holseth and President Trump. And Timmy might be coming to the understanding that David Straight never knew Donald J. Trump and that this is all one big fat lie. And so this is where we're going now. That the Telegram accounts over there are beginning to realize that Tim Holmseth is not a reliable ally, and they are starting to be concerned about what he is doing. And okay, we seem to be at a standstill on the PPTF. IBT I can't read anymore because I've been blocked. Poo hoo hoo. And so now we go over to BitChute. And cannibalism affidavits to Minnesota judge, act of God, Trump's attorney. And without playing this because he uses copyrighted music in this stuff. Okay, we've got basically a lot of spam on that channel. People promoting their own videos. Hold control and roll your wheel mouse up. That's. And somebody said that all of Charles Homestead videos are so badly done, nothing but confusing audio clips, tweets. The subject needs to be presented. Good luck with that one. You can't even get his name correct. But it goes, Yeah, well, the truth eventually comes out. This has been going on since 2016, and now people are beginning to wake up. And, he's going to be the little boy that cried wolf. It's going to get worse, 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 worse. And Mark, I do agree with you. That's exactly what's happening. This thing is starting to fall apart because they're paranoid, they're control freaks, they're not getting the word out that they want. They want the audience that David Straight has, that Linwood has, that General Flynn has, and they're not getting it. And it's pissing them off, and they're retaliating because of it. And, it's, alright, let me go over there and look. Just so you know, Laurie, there is a private message thing on here. Excuse me. Okay, Infiltrated by True says, Mert is live speeding his usual propaganda against Timothy and Randy. I think he has censored my comments supporting them. Shameful ass, old man. Well, see, the problem is, Infiltrated by Truth, since you're posting, it's hard for me to censor your comments because you've blocked me from your chat. And everybody knows that you are a supporter of Homeseth. I just said that on the live stream even before seeing this live stream, before seeing this message that was sent to me, because you have blocked me from the channel. And there's another thing that's come up. I think I saw this one, and this is one that would. But this post, it is clear to me that you didn't read the book because you didn't have a effing clue what was in it, Alex. A lie is a lie is a lie. Either way you try to spin it, honey. Funny that Tim didn't send you a signed copy. You'd think after all this extra important work on all those communications you've had, he would have wanted you to have one too. Why did Tim dox you on Gab today? When you start buying and selling Swiss blood related ESTHETICIN products, Alex. Funny to see someone like you promoting Tim Ballard. Welcome to the PSYOP. So, there are things being posted over on there that is from an account, deleted account. Okay. But, excuse me, folks. Yeah, but the point is, it's a given that Infiltrated by Truth supports Tim Homeseth, and the comments are there for people to read. But what I am saying is that IBT has now been doxxed, and all the information she told me I better not put out on the internet is now out there, and I didn't even have to do a damn thing. So she can't blame me for it, because I just found out about this. But for whatever reason, her account has disappeared off my phone, so I can no longer comment at all about whether or not she supports Tim Homeseth. She's turned off my access to that account. All I have is Pentagon Pedophile Task Force. No Infiltrated by Truth, none of it. So, if she's not going to if she doesn't want me to say that she supports Timmy, she just made it possible for me not to see her stuff. And so that's just the way it goes. But anybody knows that IBT is Timmy's number one, and if if she's blocking people, then, she's running scared. Because she doesn't want people to see what is a virtual duplicate of her Pentagon Pedophile Task Force account. And, whatever. Now she can say whatever she wants about me, and it's hidden from me, Just she's scared for me to find out what she's saying about me. Even though the problem is with the number of people that are on that account, there's always somebody in there that can read the stuff and get it out. So, but, it doesn't bother me a bit, because it's, I get the information anyway, and I can pretty well have an idea of what she said. It's the same thing over and over again. So, oh well. Oops, let me. And yeah, I think, this is the funny. This is another one. This is another post where they're attacking David Straight. I am demanding the United States Marines. I look forward to David Straight sharing a detailed update on the children. I've been checking his channel, but nothing yet. Since President Trump trusted David to run the task force and the elimination of child trafficking is an absolute priority to both our president and Melania, he will no doubt be providing a full update soon. And Timothy regularly shares updates for his own projects, and that is greatly appreciated. But they are basically turning, this Aurora Marie is now turning against David Straight. And one by one, they're intensifying their attacks against David Straight, and David Straight is eventually going to have to address all of this. And he's basically started to disown Tim. I had something, and I don't know what I did with it, but he basically came out and said that Tim Holseth makes things up. And so David Straight has basically turned his back on Timmy. Yeah, I'm just keep bouncing back and forth checking on things. Yeah, Pentagon Pedophile Task Force come to a screeching halt. Well, all that happened, you start blocking people for no good reason, then that's a sign that they are concerned about the truth getting out. So, the problem is people are going to read unblocked channels. They may not read mine, but they're going to read other channels, and they're going to begin to realize that well, I think he started to, Paula, because I know there's a comment out there that was sent to me that he's disillusioned with Tim Holseth, that he's making things up. And I'm not able to find that particular comment. I'm going to check in here and see if it's because I don't have the other phone handy right now. Nope, I'm not going to be able to find it on here. Let me find it on the computer. Alright, let's go over here. Right. Okay. Great thoughtful discussion in our chat today. I guess that is what happens when you remove the majority of the clowns. I guess that is IBT admitting that she has blocked all dissent against her chat. But, what they'll do is they'll keep coming over here because they not only put up my YouTube stream, they also put up when I came back on the air. And so but I guess now they can have great thoughtful discussion about how they all agree with each other and they can pat each other in the back because that's all they're capable of doing. Alright, train. Okay, this is... Oh, and there is a video circulating of Field McConnell. Okay, let me go to another account. Let me see. To another message area. Okay, it's not there. I don't know. Okay, this is what I was looking for. There was a statement from an account that is said to be David Straight, and it says, "I don't know Tim anymore. What a Judas. He twists words." Now, that is supposed to be from David Straight, and it's on Hydroponics International Incorporated is where this was found. So it would appear that David Straight has booted him. But yeah, it's... Yeah, that tree is... No pink boxers this time. He wore an afro wig, a huge afro wig. So he's black. He's back to being the clown again. It was a brief video, from what I understand. But you know, it's field is field. Yeah, I can agree with you there, Mark. Yeah, he used to wear the clown hair, but when I saw that afro wig was like out to here. That thing was enormous. You know, he kind of looked like one of the palace guards over in England who had his hat piece collapse or something. It's just hard to describe it. You know, if you see the video, you'll understand how ridiculous it is. But at the same time, this is what people were used to who used to watch Bill. He was an entertainer. Yeah, I'd be curious about that one. This is... I don't recall this one. But, you know, it's... you know, the thing about the Patriot movement is you have all these people. You have Flynn, Wood, Straight, and others that agree on the core mission of saving. Let me see if I can. I'm going to have to do something here. Because I got to bring it up. What's funny is this has been popping up on my... Nope, that isn't going to work. Somebody's going to need to send me the link of that to my Twitter account, to my thing, because I'm not finding it on YouTube now that I'm looking for it. Because it's been popping up all day long, and now that I'm looking for it, I can't find it. Yeah, I know it is. Glow is going to have to send me a link in Twitter so I can find it. Let me go over there. Because I can, once I find it, I can... Okay, I got sent the link. God, this thing is... Alright, give me a minute, I gotta... The strange thing about this is I have to put it in my browser, my Chrome browser, in order for this to work. Okay, now I can bring it in. Why won't it? Okay. Do it this way. That is too weird. I don't know why. That's what I wanted it to share screen. Why that didn't share the... That's strange. Usually I'm able to do this the other way, but it won't allow it in there. But you got to see the video anyway. But there's anybody that wants to go see that. You can see it. Why it's not... Alright, this may work better. No, hello kitty cat. I don't want Wendy the cheetah. I'm gonna have to... Oh well. Because that's not doing it the way if I had set this up beforehand, I would have... yeah, it's May 25th, and see, there was things going around that Finn McConnell was going to have visitors on the 25th, and so that was made on the 25th, and then Glow got a hold of it somehow. Could be, it could be anybody that, had a device capable of recording the video or live streaming it or whatever. Yeah, using this thing as a mirror isn't working. I would have to play the video properly, I would have to download it or get a copy of the raw video, and then I could bring it in as a video file. So, But everybody, everybody can go over to Glow's channel and see it better, because it comes through. Let me see something. Because I'm not sure. Yeah, anybody should subscribe to Glow's channel, hit the notification button, and then that way when these videos come out, they would get notified. I'm going to see if I've got my channel, or if I've got this properly set up. I'm subscribed. Excuse me. Yeah, I keep forgetting to turn that damn thing on. So now I've hit the notification button. Let me see. I'm going to try and fix this. Now let's see what happens when I share this. Well, that's an improvement, because there's his head. There's his little wiggy thingy. This is what I should have done. Oh, I know what I do. There. Let me see. But that's a little better. Oh, that's cute that came up. But that was interesting. The only thing about that is, there are some people that might take that the wrong way because it's kind of racist, but, that remains to be seen. I've been told where that might not be the brightest thing that field has done, but we'll find out as time goes on. That's interesting. Oop. Okay, I'll do that again. Share audio. I always forget to do that. And of course it disappeared. I gotta redo this. Okay, let me do that, Glow, because what I gotta do is I gotta redo it on this one. Bring this back over here. Okay, whoop, let me go back. Okay, because we're going to do... I'm in the process of setting this. Okay, now let me do this. Share screen. Chrome tab. And we share. Let me get this back in the picture again. Okay, this should, let me know if the audio comes through.
Crappin'.
Say that again. Say that again.
Darky said to Whitey boy, can that be a rapper? Whitey says to the darky boy, that a bunch of crapper.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to sit too well. I hope the audio came through, but that, yeah, racist and a bigot, that's not a good thing to be in this day and age. You know, what can I say? That's what Telegram has over there, is a bunch of racists, bigots, and anti-Semites. Of course, it doesn't seem to, people don't seem to understand that Trump's daughter is Jewish, but, you know, what are you going to do? But it's a short video, you know, you really have to play it over and over again to get the meaning of it. So I'm glad I was able to... Yeah, I keep forgetting when I share these videos, I keep forgetting to hit that share the audio tab. And, you know, it kind of messes things up. But, yeah, I'm gonna... Let me check something here since I'm in here. Because I'm probably I'll call it a night tonight. I'm going to work on this system. At least this microphone works. This is an old microphone that I've had for years. And I had it buried. I had to really look for it, and I found it. Because the other headphones I've got are made for cell phones. And I do have other equipment. I just got to get everything set up. Oh, boy, this damn computer is picky. Alright, let's try that again. There we go. This website does not tolerate typos. Okay, 16th of May, I think. Yeah, there's nothing new in the Petrie Blanchard case other than the trial has been, the document on the 16th is about addresses of witnesses. And so not much is going on. With that case. Well, you have a good night, Joker. Glad to have you in here again. Yeah, Glow, I'm going to be doing some tests. I got to get a different headset. But I have a feeling that, for whatever reason, my Corsair is down for the count. Um, it's a good it's a good headset. For some reason, it just crapped out, and I gotta check and see if it's the headset itself is giving up the ghost or if there's something else going on. Is there anything new with Randy's case? I don't know. It's a sealed case. I do know there's a judgment against her, and I think from what I've heard, they may be trying to get some of the information unsealed. And so I'm waiting to hear on that to see what the information is going to be once that portion of the case is unsealed. So, there's a lot of behind the scenes going on that I don't know very much about, that I'm just going to have to wait and see what happens. But yeah, anybody that hasn't seen that interview, check it out. They are not happy in the least about that interview. They are hopping mad, and it may be what led to me being blocked. And I understand that Paula is still working on the second part of that docuseries, so we all are waiting in anticipation for that. Let's see. Carolyn is saying, is David Strait getting cold feet? So there's basically, they are discussing David Strait. I guess I were interested enough. The only viable piece of info on that receipt is E-clause. A receipt is a piece of paper. It's pretty easy to plug in a receipt printer and print anything you want from WordPad. I see no autograph. Throw some Sharpie over the clerk ID because we have been trained to think redactions means it's legit. On top of that, $400 to file for what? For what? The message below the receipt picture is leading us to believe there was evidence filed. Doesn't say exactly because the author doesn't know it exists. Believing is the death of knowing. Trust no one. This looks like an easy smear. For what reason, I don't know. He sure likes broadcasting his accolades on his banner and such. For instance, I can say there's only one man between me and the snow cone barista at Mar-a-Lago and Trump. That would mean nothing to anyone that reads that. I follow based on actions, not words. Discern for yourself. So there is a doubter in the midst, and I don't know if this letter number combination is a username or what, but the doubters are starting to come in. So maybe people are finally beginning to get the understanding that Timmy and Randy are both frauds, and for whatever reason, this has got IBT up in a rage because she has blocked me. But there are ways of getting information, because there still is Holmes's Gab page. And so let's see, the latest thing is 11 hours ago. And what it has a reply from from Rangers at dps.texas.gov, which is the same one that I went to, and it's to IBT, and it says there is no Republic of Texas law enforcement. That is something they made up. and it shows where Alexandra had sent a email to them. And so they pretty well have turned against David Strait, calling him a liar, calling him a fraud, and, basically got him for impersonating a law enforcement officer, which is pretty serious. And it's under investigation. So David Strait now has the Texas Department of Public Safety and the Texas Rangers, which is part of that organization, on their radar. And so they can create problems for David Strait if they so are inclined. And David Strait is also claiming to have credentials from the Secret Service. And so if these claims are false, then David Strait has a lot to worry about, and the source of his worry is none other than Timothy Charles Holmseth. So any investigation that happens against David Strait, he can thank Timothy Charles Holmseth for it. And E-Clause is just as much of a fraud, and like I said early in the broadcast, before everything went down, is that the filing that Chris Hallett made to the court had absolutely nothing to do with any documentation from Randy Erickson. And again, for people that don't know, because we may have some new people in here, the reason Chris Hallett was murdered was because he pissed off a woman who thought that he was going to help her get her children back from CPS. And when Chris Hallett not only could not fulfill his promise, but even stated that he did not think that Neely Blanchard was a fit mother and he was actually working against her, she got pissed, got a gun, and executed him. It's that simple. It's no big conspiracy. Nobody did anything. She got mad and shot him. Now, the only thing one has to ask in that situation is, did somebody get her angry by saying, hey, guess what we found out about Chris Hallett, and just got her worked up to the point where she got mad and she blew him away? We have a trial in August where a lot of these questions are going to be answered. And she has pled not guilty by reason of insanity in order to avoid the death penalty. And so a lot of stuff is going to come out in court. And all this stuff about the Pentagon Pedophile Task Force, the Children's Crusade, Tim Holmseth, Randy Erickson, is going to come out. Paula, the receipt may have been in Neely's court records, but right now the court has sealed most of the discovery in that case. It's very difficult to get things out of that court, which is unusual. But the receipt that Tim keeps putting up was for a filing that was made before he was murdered, and it does not have anything to do with Tim Holmseth, Randy Erickson, any child trafficking or any of that nonsense. That's a separate issue that has to do with if you have her records, Paula, I would very much like to see those records, because this might unravel some stuff. But that receipt does not have anything to do with anything that Randy claims, because Chris Hallett was supposed to have filed those papers in Washington and with the Washington court, and I believe he filed papers down in Florida at the Broward County courthouse where Kim Bacasio lives. But it's the very same thing she filed in Minnesota. There's nothing different. It's the same thing. And yeah, that's correct, Richard. If her gun had not jammed, that would have been a mass murder. Because basically she shot Chris Hallett in front of the woman and her daughter, and she aimed the gun at the woman and her daughter, and the gun jammed. And while she was repairing the gun, they got the hell out of there, and so Neely just went ahead and finished off Chris Hallett with whatever was left in the gun. Yeah, you're right, Glow. That's basically what my understanding is, that it was a situation that had to do with anything that has to do with a child is sealed automatically by the court. Well, again, Paula, we're saying that this is according to Randy and Tim. And, you know, my understanding, trying to unravel this fairy tale that they keep putting in the posts and everything, I still do not think the paperwork filed with the Ocala court has anything to do with the stuff that Randy and Tim are trying to pass off. Now, they did say that they sent this stuff to the Joint Special Operations Command, and they seem to forget that I live in Florida, and JSOC is only a call away. I've already gotten to the bottom of that. And, you know, they, number one, they think she's nuts, and they just, you know, they get junk like this all the time, and they don't believe any of it. You know, it's in a file 13 somewhere, and nobody cares about it. Yeah, you know, and you know, this is my point, and this is, you see, United States court is very strict when it comes to minors, and because there was a combination of a custody and child support issue, that case would have been sealed. And, you know, even if the case was dismissed, it, you know, I don't know how the hell you got your hands on it, but that normally that's supposed to be dismissed unless it was solely against the wife, because she's an adult. If there's anything involving the children as far as child support, custody issues, then we are talking about a matter that would be sealed by the court automatically. And, you know, it's a little confusing because I'm trying to figure out why the Blatcher case is sealed. But the judge early on said that there is going to be a lot of things within that case that are going to be sealed. And the things that are coming out in regards to the evidence, like this weird spy pen thing, is, I'm a little confused as to why that would come out, and then some other stuff is being held in secrecy, unless it's because it's stuff that may get other people prosecuted, and the court does not want this evidence getting out while a case is still under investigation. And this might have to do with Tim, Randy, and possibly Field McConnell, and Kirk Pendergrass, because they are all involved in this particular case in one way or another. And so, yeah, we're getting into this conspiracy theory business. I understand Kirk Pendergrass is going to have another court hearing about his recent arrest. So I haven't heard any results of that. Well, this is something new I didn't know about, Paula, and you're giving me breaking news. I did not know that Neely Blanchard had been talking to Randy the night before the murder. Now, there's a possibility of what I said before was happening, that Randy got Neely so worked up that she basically went down to confront Chris Hallett and shot him as a result. So that's incitement on Randy's part if this is the case. And this might be in the testimony that Neely gives to the court through her lawyer. And if this is the case, then Randy may find herself on the witness stand in Ocala, or she might find herself as a person of interest in this murder. Because incitement to violence can be prosecuted. I mean, we have Charles Manson, who did not kill anybody, but he was sentenced because he talked people into doing that. And Neely Blanchard has a very implosive temper. I mean, she almost ran into her mother with a car. She did some incident at the school up in Kentucky. I mean, she's got a violent temper, and that would be a clue as to the frame of mind that Neely Blanchard was in when she confronted Chris Hallett the next day. And, you know, I did a video on this where I thought that someone got Neely Blanchard riled up to the point where she went into a blind rage and executed Chris Hallett. It might explain why she would have attempted to shoot his girlfriend and her daughter, who were at the house at that time. You know, she was just in a blind rage. Is literally a blind rage, and anybody that gets in front of that gun is going to get shot. So those two are extremely lucky that gun jammed. And so the MK Ultra thing is getting old, Glow. She's another one along with Cynthia Abzug that might have had the Munchausen, and this sort of thing. Just, you know, she was very unstable to begin with, and then she got hooked up with Chris Hallett and this all-important E-Clause, and she was promoting his business, driving the car with the E-Clause plate on it, and yada, yada, yada. And she found out that she'd been had and got very disillusioned, and this is where we are. The connection is Timothy Charles Holmes Seth, Randy Erickson, Field McConnell, Kirk Pendergrass, and others. I mean, the same people are connected in both of these cases in one way or another. And in the case of the Blanchard, this may prove problematic for these people because of the violent outcome. Now, Cynthia Abzug sent me a private message asking if anybody was investigating the frauds who were Field McConnell, Randy, and Timmy. So Cynthia is mad about the situation she's in because of these guys. And, you know, since then, you know, they basically told Cynthia Abzug to stay off social media. And so you can't get any more information out of her. And, you know, it is a possibility, Paula, that this is under investigation. It might explain why large parts of this case are sealed in a state like Florida that has very specific open records law. We have what they call the sunshine down here, and this basically means that it's very difficult to hide official records from the public. There's very strict criteria for it, and apparently in this case, that criteria has been met, and these records remain sealed. But at some point, they will become unsealed, and we will learn exactly what was being covered up, so to speak. yeah, they finally convinced Cynthia to go and get a lawyer. She actually has a team. There's like a lead counsel, and then these 3 or 4 women that surround Cynthia. And I have no idea, um, who these people are. And then there's this real interesting looking gentleman that seems to be paying for all this. And I met him when I was up at the trial. And he's kind of an interesting character. He's about as close to Field McConnell as you can ever think of. Um, well, Levi, I did read it into the room where an account that is supposed to be David Straight basically called him a Judas and said that to me twist words and so forth. So there has been a response that has been attributed to Oh, thank you for that. Yeah, I can use just the video. I got to figure out how to download it. But I'll do that later on. But let me see if I can find where. This is what David Straight was supposed to have said, Levi. Quote, there is no Republic of Texas law enforcement. No. This is what Texas said to Alex the Greek, as I call her. But there was another thing where David Straight had basically said something to the effect, and I lost that. But basically he calls Timmy a Judas and said he twists his words. Okay. So, well, as best as I know, Levi, David Straight did reply with that brief message. And I was going to bring that slide in here, but my computer messed up earlier, as you know. So I'm going to have to probably rebroadcast that portion of it at some time. And I'm going to be watching to see what develops. I guess I'm going to have to find David Straight's channel on Telegram and subscribe to it so I can keep an eye on what's going on over there. But Pentagon Pedophile has come to a grinding halt, and there is absolutely nothing coming out of Telegram right now. So who knows? I may have been blocked from that one too. So, but anyway, whew. Alright, well, this has been a pretty good night. I think what I'm going to do, let's see. Yeah, Chris Hallett's world was starting to fall apart. Yeah, I remember that there was a royal argument between the two of them on the air one night, and it was like the Padawan was starting to get out of control with the Jedi Master there, and Chris Hallett, lowered the boom on him, and it basically didn't. I thought it had worked, but apparently it didn't. There's a lot that I have forgotten about that situation. But for right now, all is quiet on the Telegram front. And there's nothing going on BitChute. I'll make one last. Well, maybe I won't either. There it goes. Cannibalism got to judge by act of God. But, you know, that's... Yeah, I think what was going on, Glow, is, you know, Neely gradually started to see that something wasn't quite right, and I think eventually, you know, there's the possibility that Randy, in this alleged conversation with Neely, brought it to the forefront and got Neely so worked up that she did what she did. This is a distinct possibility, and so that's what we're all going to have to watch. We're also, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be starting to pay closer attention to David Straight and any comments he makes regarding this situation with Randy and with Timmy, because I think that we're seeing this rift going on between Timmy, Randy, and David Straight exploding into an all-out war, and I don't think David Straight's going to be the loser in this war. I think that he has a lot of power with the Patriot movement and with people that are, for lack of a better term, sovereign citizens that believe in what David Straight talks about. And they are not going to appreciate this troll, for lack of a better word, coming in and trying to destroy David Straight because of a bruised ego and having people accuse David Straight of being a thief, because now they're accusing David Straight of not paying money back to Randy because he didn't do as he was promised to do. And so that's going to get everybody all riled up. You know, it's one thing for the deep state to do it, but when it's one of your own, or someone that you think is your own, starts going after your mentor, then things are going to start falling apart. So I think Timmy and Randy have bit off more than they can chew, and I don't know if they're going to be able to repair the damage or if they are willing to repair the damage. And so there may be some trouble in paradise here because of what's going on. And so we're going to have to watch and see how all this goes. So please like, subscribe, share, and hit that notification button so that everybody will know as we go forward any updates that come up. And I will give updates on anything else that comes to light. There's a lot that I'm waiting for to be disclosed, or that I will be allowed to disclose, about what's going on in various sectors of the crazy world of Timothy Charles Homestead. So until then, I bid you all good night. Thank you for coming in. And this was a pretty decent broadcast, even if my technology kind of went kapoof. I think that I am going to be replacing a headset tomorrow. I like this headset, but it, you know, if you wear it long enough, it kind of crushes the ears, because I like the over-the-ear headset instead of the on-your-ear headset, which is what this one is. But, you know, it's a spare. It got us through this mess. So I'll see what I can do about troubleshooting. And thanks, everybody. Thank you, Lori, for being in here tonight. And so until then, everybody, have a good one. Enjoy your holiday, folks, and happy Memorial Day. Be sure to say a prayer or two for those who are fallen in the defense of our country. Good night.